Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the real standouts from K-INNOSHOW 2025, a K-Tech company called SWM. Now, these guys aren't just talking about a driverless future, they're actually building it, right now, on the very real streets of Seoul. So let's just set the scene. Imagine it's late, say 11 p.m. on a weekday. You're in Gangnam, which is, one of the most chaotic, complex urban spots you can find anywhere. A taxi pulls up to the curb for you, and there's absolutely no one in the driver's seat.
Yeah, this isn't some sci-fi movie. This is the real deal. It's SWM's robotaxi service, and it's literally the first of its kind in South Korea. They designed it specifically to handle that wild, unpredictable late-night energy of the capital.
And look, this is not some simple little test loop. We're talking a full-on door-to-door service. It covers a huge area of both Gangnam and Seocho. And get this, they're targeting the toughest hours, from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., when getting a ride can be a real pain. They launched with a fleet of 5 of these cars back in late 2024.
Okay, so the big question is, are people actually using it? Well, yeah. In just the first few months, these things gave over 2,000 rides. That's more than 11,000 kilometers driven completely autonomously. This isn't theoretical. It's real-world impact, happening as we speak.
So who's the company behind the car? Let's dig into SWM and see what makes them tick.
The interesting thing about SWM is that they aren't really a car company at all. They're a software and AI company. Their whole mission is to build the brain of the car, that core intelligence that makes the whole thing not just work, but work safely and reliably every single time. And this number right here, this tells you everything you need to know about their DNA. Almost 90%, 89% of their employees are R&D engineers. So this isn't a car manufacturer with a little tech department. It's a full-blown tech company that just happens to be applying its smarts to cars.
All right, but how in the world do you teach a car to do all that? To see, to think, and to react, especially on streets as crazy as Seoul's? Well, it all boils down to a really smart combination of hardware and software.
Yeah, it's all wrapped up in what they call their autonomous driving system, or ADS for short. Just think of it like the car's nervous system. It's the senses, the brain, and the reflexes all rolled into one seamless package. So the car basically has these superhuman senses. It's using LiDAR, which shoots out light to build this constantly updating 3D map of everything around it. Then you've got cameras, which are the eyes, for reading signs and traffic lights. And radar is there to track the speed and direction of everything else on the road. All of that information just floods into these super powerful computers right inside the car, which process it instantly. And the whole process really boils down to 3 simple but super important steps. First, it senses the world around it, using all that hardware. Second, the AI brain has to process all that incoming data to actually understand what's going on. And third, it acts. It makes a safe, reliable driving decision all in a split second.
Okay, so by actually proving this tech works in the real world, SWM has really put itself on the map as a major player in Korea's race to autonomous driving. And what's cool is seeing how they got here. It wasn't an accident. They actually started way back in 2005 as a mobile software company, but in 2018 they made a huge strategic pivot into automotive tech. And you can see that bet totally paid off, right? Just a few years later, they've got this public service running. And all this tech leadership, well, it's translating directly into business success. You can see the revenue is climbing steadily. We're talking a growth rate of over 26% year over year. And the projection for 2025 is to basically double what they did in 2023. That's serious momentum.
And this really brings us to the key takeaway here. Right now, SWM is the only company, the one and only, running a real-world public robotaxi service in all of South Korea. Others might be testing or planning, but these guys are actually doing it.
When you look at the global picture, it's a race against giants, right? You've got massive players like Waymo in the US and government-backed companies like Baidu in China. And right there in the mix is SWM,
kind of the home team champion for South Korea, proving their tech can hang in one of the toughest urban battlegrounds anywhere. So where does it all go from here? Well, everything they've done so far is just a stepping stone to an even bigger goal. A truly driverless future. You can see from their roadmap just how fast they're moving. In 2025, the plan is to expand the service area and, start charging for rides. By 2026, they want to double the fleet to at least 10 vehicles. But the big one, the grand prize, is 2027, launching a fully commercial, fully driverless, level 4 robotaxi. No safety driver, just the car. So what SWM is doing in Gangnam really makes you wonder, right? How long until one of these pulls up on your street corner? This isn't just a story about Seoul. It's a massive leap forward for this technology everywhere. And the Ministry of SMEs and Startups is really pushing to support the growth of South Korea's K-tech companies. With innovators like SWM at the wheel, that driverless future, well, it might be a lot closer than any of us think.